Today I want to talk about the connection between chronic pain and the nervous system. This is a chronic pain series, video number 3. My name is Arnie Peterson from Hypnotherapy Victoria, and this series, if you experience chronic pain, I think it could help you a lot with a lot of insights. And now the nervous system, it's comprised of two main systems, the autonomic nervous system, of the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic. And so the sympathetic, that's fight or flight, that's survival. And that's where all of your belief systems are, and your feelings and emotions come from there, and all of your involuntary body functions. But mainly about today, I want to talk about survival. And the parasympathetic, that is rest, digest, recuperate, regenerate, and that's the state where your body, it rebuilds and where creativity comes from. Now, in the last video, where I was talking about root causes, if we have unleft sort of, things that we're pushing down, unsaid words, if we're really unhappy about a situation in our life and it's really stressing us out, if we have some unresolved childhood trauma where we never felt good enough and maybe we felt unworthy or we were a bad person, or some other traumas in life where we have difficulty maybe being with our emotions, processing what we feel. The subconscious mind, the sympathetic nervous system, it has a way of protecting us, helping to keep us safe. It basically disconnects us from these uncomfortable feelings and emotions. It gives us anxiety to avoid the things that gives us that give us too many emotions that are uncomfortable that we can't handle. So a panic attack, it works great. It keeps us from going out and going out in public around people. If we have social anxiety, it protects us. And it does things like that. And so what happens over time is now think of a bad dream. Okay, you wake up from a bad dream, your body doesn't know the difference. It's feeling the stress like it's real, like the bad thing in the dream really is happening, but it's not. It's only a dream. Your mind, it gets connected to that. And what happens is the nervous system, it starts ramping up survival, and we start becoming hypervigilant. We start unconsciously, just subconsciously looking around for the kinds of things that could be dangerous, the things that our subconscious wants to avoid, the uncomfortable feelings and situations. And what it does is it disconnects us from those feelings. So the disconnection is related to danger, that life is not safe. So anytime we're distracted in our head and we're thinking we're not in our body, we're not present, that's disconnecting us from our body. And that's telling the subconscious there's danger. Okay, and if we don't feel safe to be ourselves, to speak our own truth and to put ourselves out there in the world, we're essentially, feeling unsafe to be ourselves, and the world is dangerous. We're constantly in fight or flight. Everything we do, we're in a mild sense of protection mode. So think of all the body functions that we have, that go on automatically. Digestion, the respiratory system, the immune system, and the urinary system, and all of the different systems of the body, bone and skin and muscles, and all the systems run in incredible harmony. The whole body balances itself. It heals when we get cuts. Now, why is this important? Well, it has a lot to do with chronic pain, because when we have these stressors going on, okay, and what happens when we're stressed all of the time, it starts taxing our body. It takes a lot of energy, fight or flight. And when we're not spending enough time in the parasympathetic for our body to rejuvenate, what happens is our body gets run down, and all of the systems, the main systems in the body, they don't have enough energy anymore. They don't have 100% energy they need available to maintain balance. So the body starts actually juggling energy, and the systems start going without as much as they need, and the body adjusts what systems are most important and to keep functioning. And we get tired and more tired, and pretty soon, even though all of these other things, these perceptions of life, that I don't feel good about myself, I don't like my job, we worry in our mind, all of these perceptions of life that cause stress, it's not really going on. They're just irrational thoughts that keep replaying in our mind. But the real stress that can cause chronic pain is internally. When the autonomic nervous system, where it's getting out of balance, we're stuck in fight or flight, we don't have the energy anymore, our body's getting drained. Now our body's got to run and function on way less energy. And at one point, there's just not enough energy. We're actually expending more energy dealing with the threat and just simple functions. We get exhausted and our body starts to break down in a lot of different ways internally, and it becomes an internal threat. And so then the subconscious ramps up, trying to deal with the threat more and more and more, and makes us feel more anxious and more worried to see and to keep an eye out for where's the danger, but we can't resolve it. So it gets more stress and we start thinking and worrying, and pretty soon our body gets more drained. And then it starts manifesting into physical body issues and tension and tightness. So when we're worried about things, when we're constantly, if we're watching the news and we're talking about all the bad things going on, and we're talking to our friend about these, this happened today, this bad thing, we're always focusing on negative stuff. If we're always worrying in our mind, if we have this underlying feeling of anxiety, we're actually causing our body to start to break down over time because it doesn't have enough energy to build up a reserve of energy to run in balance and harmony. So the nervous system plays a huge part. It starts to work against itself. Fight or flight takes a lot of energy. We're meant to basically survive and deal with a threat. It takes so much energy, and then we flip over into the parasympathetic nervous system, which rebuilds that expenditure of energy in fight or flight when we deal with the threat. But when it's these threats that are in the subconscious mind of belief systems, it's not an actual thing that we can resolve. So what happens is it just keeps going round and round and round, and we build up more stress, and then the internal body becomes a stress. Now our body starts breaking down, and no wonder our body can't heal. Because our body, the healing state, is the parasympathetic nervous system. And if we're not going into that system enough and resting properly and recuperating, regenerating properly, turning down the sympathetic nervous system to rebuild the expenditure of fight or flight, our body can't heal properly. That's when we get stuck in chronic pain. Are you following? Is this making sense to you? Well, I want you to sit with this for a little bit. In the next video, I'm going to talk about feelings and emotions. This plays a big part of this, kind of how it happens, but also this is where we can start making change, is to be with our feelings and emotions and to really notice, do we have trouble with some feelings and emotions being with them? Do we avoid them? That's causing our sympathetic nervous system to trigger into fight or flight. When we don't want to feel something, when we dissociate and disconnect and we try and distract ourselves, we're saying whatever's going on right now, there's something, not good about now because I need to check out in my attention, I need to put it elsewhere other than what's going on. That tells the fight or flight, it's not safe to be here. And so it stresses the body more, okay? Turning on fight or flight. So I'm going to leave it there for now. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up, pass it along. But I hope you're getting a lot from it. And down there you'll see the link to go to my series of the whole chronic pain series that you can watch all together there as I make these videos. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video looking into feelings and emotions and how that connects to chronic pain.